Whenever I meet with a client whose concern is that they don't have enough time in their day to get their work done, I always start by asking to see their calendar. And in almost every case, their calendar is a patchwork mess of meeting after meeting. They don't have time to do anything other than prepare for and attend meetings. Hi, I'm Dave Edwards. Today I have some tips for how to tame your calendar and increase your productivity. If you enjoy these kinds of videos, these kinds of topics, I'd ask a big favor, and that is that you click the like button below and subscribe to the series of videos. Then you won't miss any that I publish in the future. I really appreciate it if you would take both action. So when my client shows me their calendar, it's full of meetings, and it's no wonder why they're frustrated. They'll tell me that they don't have control over their schedule and that every meeting on their calendar is critical. They're already working long hours just trying to get caught up on their email, and they feel like they're failing and they are burned out. While I can't give them more hours in their day, I can show them how to structure their time at work a little bit better. The calendar is the key to this. Let's start with who can put a meeting on your calendar. Usually, there's only three: you, your boss, and if you have one, your administrative assistant. That's it. Everyone else should be able to request or suggest a meeting, but they should never have the ability to schedule an appointment without your involvement. Before we get to the control mechanisms you need to use, let's look at how you should structure your calendar. I think it's essential to block out some times on your calendar for certain things. Rather than snack on emails throughout the day, I set up 3 times per day to sort my emails. All I'm looking for are the important items that have to, take my immediate attention. I block out an hour at the beginning of the day, half hour at lunch, probably an hour at the end of the day. Those are time blocks that are reoccurring items on my electronic calendar, and they allow me to keep up with the triaging of my email account. Now, throughout much of my work as a manager, I blocked out 1 day a week for meetings away from the office, as then I could use my travel time more effectively. I'd also set aside 1 day for working in the office without any meetings, and another day in the office for all of my internal meetings. These were weekly status meetings with direct reports, but it's also an ideal time for special one-off sessions. Now, look, I was fortunate enough to have an incredible administrative assistant throughout much of my career. If anyone wanted to meet with me, I'd ask them to work with Anne. She would work within my expected time blocks, but she also knew my priorities, and she could schedule important things without regard to my ideal schedule. Besides me and Anne, the only person who overrides anything on my schedule, well, they were the people I reported to. If you don't have someone to manage your calendar, I recommend you use an online scheduling calendar like Calendly. The service allows others to request time on your calendar within certain parameters that you set. Require an agenda for all meetings. This really prevents wasting time. No agenda, no meeting. And if you find that the item is informational and doesn't really require a discussion or a decision, you should ask the person to send you the information via email and promise to follow up if you have any questions. Cancel that meeting. Here's another idea. Most people and calendars default to a standard of 60-minute meetings. A simple one-item agenda might only need 15 minutes of your time. But it's also possible that a single agenda item might be so complex that you might need 90 minutes or more. You and your administrative assistant can make that judgment. Don't overschedule yourself. If you have back-to-back meetings, you don't have time to prepare for them adequately. These steps and your constant oversight of your calendar will likely provide you with more control of your time and less stress as a result. Stress and productivity, man, I hear about it all the time. I work with so many clients who are trying to be more and more productive. And that interest on the part of my clients and the research that I have been doing for the last several years got me to creating a 1-hour online course, which is available to you right now. It's called Pathway to Productivity and Better Time Management. We focus on calendars and email, things like we talked about today. We also talk about distractions at work, how to deal with employees who are kind of needy. I mean, we kind of run the gamut of all sorts of productivity issues that you find on the job. And I make suggestions on how to deal with them and get more control of your work schedule and your work life. Pathway to Productivity and Better Time Management. Simple class. I know you'll appreciate it. Check it out, please. Go to my website, daveedwardsmedia.com, and click on courses. I think you'll really enjoy the class because I've been getting some really great feedback from other people who have taken the course. I'm Dave Edwards. Thanks for joining me. Don't forget, hit that like button and subscribe if you enjoy these kinds of videos. We'll talk soon.